everyone, it's the Sagan from Scientists Say, and welcome to part 3 of my Shivers playthrough for Shocktober 2016. So let's get right back into it. Oh, thank you, Windows XP. Yes, I do have updates. You know what? I don't care. Alright, let's load up our game.
Select a name from the register.
Okay, so I finally figured out the issue with the videos, which I'm going to fix right now. Somehow this setting here that says half screen got switched. That should actually say full screen. I've never had that change it by itself, but it definitely did because I launched the game and the videos were normal. I closed the game, I relaunched it, and it was still, and then it was in this half screen mode. And I only noticed that when I was going through editing the footage. So I'm going to save the game right now and make sure that stays where it should be. So that way, when there's a couple of videos later on, you guys can see that in full size, and I don't have to, go edit in footage from another video. Okay, so where we left off, we were in the professor's office, and we just caught our first Exupi. So I remembered something that I forgot to show you guys while we're in here. So I'm going to wander over here, and people are emailing me. I will get to that later. So there's a newspaper in what I assume is the professor's jacket here. And this, if you're interested in the backstory for the game, you'll definitely want to read this. This covers the disappearance of two teens in the area that the professor actually mentioned that on the tape recorder, and he thinks that this the boy here was possibly following him before all the nastiness went down. So yeah, that another little hint of what's going on, 15 years before, we're exploring this museum, basically. Okay, so I think that's about all there is to see in the professor's office for the moment. We'll come back for something later. But let's move on. I want to start exploring the museum proper. So, okay, so we have the main... It's kind of the main atrium here, the main hallway for the museum. If I come over here... I can't get over here, but that's basically the front door for the museum. What we tried to get through earlier that was locked. Okay, and then this would be like the reception desk. And here we have the brochure for Professor Windelknot's Museum of the Strange and Unusual. So this kind of talks about how the museum is filled with puzzles. And I'm guessing the professor's goal was you would come in, you'd get this brochure, and you would go through the museum room by room and solve puzzles to make your way into other rooms, eventually making your way back here, and if you've done everything correctly, anyway. But of course that never happened. Okay. I like the main room because it's a little bit of a breather area, with one possible exception. There isn't really anywhere for an Exupi to hide in here, so if you're feeling stressed out by these things hiding everywhere, this is a good room to come to. As long as you avoid that fountain over there. So, yeah, there's the axe that was missing from the workshop. I'm guessing somebody was attacked by the wood Exupi and tried to kill it with an axe, but that didn't help. Oh, and then, since this is a museum... Oh, just a second. What are you whining about? I don't know. My dog is whining. I don't know what he wants. I don't speak dog. So, since this is a museum, each exhibit here does have a plaque nearby, usually. In fact, let me try and get a good view of this one. Huh. Oh, there it is. So, yeah, this one is an exhibit on transforming masks. So these particular Indians on the northwest American coast, apparently, use these transforming masks during winter initiation celebrations. So they're kind of cool. They open up like That one has like a shark inside. I think that might be like a frog. That one's got a human face in it. That's just kind of creepy. Or maybe that's a frog, or maybe that's a snake. I don't know. That's a frog? I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments. I got no idea. Then we have a skull in here. The skull opens up, and we've got a hiding place for one of the pots. Hmm. It's got a creepy little thing. It's got arms and legs on it. Okay, so let's move on to the first room that this is kind of where I intend to go at first, and then, like, from here, I have one other place I might go, and then beyond that, we're just kind of gonna go to things as we find them, so. Welcome to the library. So, this is kind of another breather room, with one possible exception. But the very important thing here is information. So, this is where Egyptian hieroglyphs explained should be, but instead it's with the professor's corpse down in the underground lake. But, fortunately, due to the flashback feature, we can always get back to it if we need. But the main thing in here is... Oh, by the way, we're not going to go back here yet, but secret passage behind the bookshelf. How awesome is that? Would love to have that in my house someday, you know? Okay, so we have a bookshelf here with some books on it. Let's start with what's probably the most important one. And as I said before, I'm just going to flip through these. If you want to read what they say, just go ahead and pause the video as I flip through each page. I'll go at a fairly, steady pace. Okay, so you might recognize this symbol. If you're wondering where you've seen it before...
Care to refresh your memory?
You have seen it here, because it's that symbol that the professor drew in the dirt before he died. I assume he intended for anybody that found it to find this book, to get more information on what happened. So, this book is the entire explanation for the Exupi, where they came from. To summarize, this is basically translated from stone tablets found in, I think, South America. This was one of the things that the professor acquired from Siegfried Schwartz, which was the guy, or Siegfried Schwartz, excuse me, the guy that originally had the pots. But it talks about an ancient Native American legend, and I mean Native South American, about these spirits that were the, I think, children of the moon god. It's been a while since I've read this, and I'm not going to read the whole thing now. But they basically could take on... they had an affinity for a particular element, each of these children, and they would... Or no, excuse me, they didn't. They would sneak in at night and take the life essence of people as they slept. And eventually, this village wanted to stop them, so they had a shaman create these vessels, putting a different element in each one, attracting the children of the moon god to them, and then they were basically trapped inside these vessels until somebody let them out. And now we're dealing with that. Okay, so that's basically that book. This is one of those things where everything you find in this game is a clue to some other puzzle later. So this seems like a, kind of an innocuous book, but it's actually the memoirs of Professor Woodlawn himself. And it talks about various discoveries, various theories, aliens, ancient aliens, like aliens, that kind of thing. But it does have some important clues for later in there. Let's see, what else do we have here? This one's important. So this is a cryptographer's attempt at deciphering ancient South American pictographs. So, symbol for fire, water, ceremonial ash, beeswax, thunder and lightning, cloth, wood. This one's kind of interesting. It's actually glyph for he died, and T together creates dead tree, which would mean wood. Metal, crystal, sand, jade, burning water, so oil or tar, and stone. Now, if any of those are looking familiar to you, it's because each of the pots has one of these on it. So this one is actually the vessel for the oil, or tar, or petroleum, whatever you want to call it. And the one we caught before was the one for ash. So each excipient is associated with an element, meaning they'll be hiding in something created from that element. When I wanted to get out of the Fantastic Beasts room earlier, it's because the tar excipient was sitting in one corner, and the metal excipient was sitting in the other, and I wanted to get the fuck out of there. So, that being said, that's... Oh, and there is one other book here, Mythology of the Stars. Basically talks about the solar system and the meaning of each planet. This one is very much a clue for a later puzzle. But as you can see, I now have...
Care to refresh your memory?
All of these books now are available in the flashback, which is going to be very handy later. And I love that the one on the Excipient is just called Black Book. Okay. I hope I've given you a rough overview of these. If you're not interested, I do say if you're at all interested in the story for this game, please read these books as I was flipping through them. Some very interesting information there. So I think that's all there is to see here. That cabinet isn't openable. The only reason I'm comfortable in this room right now is the wax excipient is not hiding in this candelabra. Like I said, kind of a breather room. Now, as you can see, I can open this cabinet here, which means it's a hiding place for if I wanted to leave something behind and come back for it. Apologies for the dog barking. So, as I recall, there aren't any other books to read in here. We've seen them all. In fact, I'm pretty sure they're repeating some textures here. Well, or books as they painted. Okay, so there is a puzzle in this room, though. So I just moved the ladder there. Let's see what we got up here. So we have the statue here, and it looks like there's something to see here, but I gotta find a way to turn the statue. Well, this book looks oddly suspicious. Hey, look at that. And we found another hiding place for... looks like a talisman this time. It doesn't go with the one we have. Now, I don't always remember the talismans off the top of my head. Some of them I do, some of them I don't. This one I've forgotten what it goes to, but we'll figure that out later. For now, since I know what this one is, I'm going to take that with me and remember that I left one that looks like it has this sort of diamond shape for its base up here in the statue. Whereas this one needs more like a teardrop shape. Kind of weird. Alright, time. Oh, that was my phone finishing charging. Unfortunately, nothing else to see up here. Okay, let's... I'm tempted to either go into the passage back here, or go where I was intending to go. I think for now I'm gonna go where I was intending to go, but we'll get back here later because as you can see, the music back here is a little more on the creepy side. Oh, what the hell? We'll explore back here for a minute. Okay, so there's something on the floor here. So, to summarize this. This is a note that Beth and Marianne were passing back and forth in class. Beth is one of the missing teenagers that we assume was lost in this museum. This kind of confirms it, having found this on the floor. So this is talking about them talking in class, and I think it mentions, that she's got a huge crush on Merrick, the boy she was in the museum with. But, yeah, go ahead and give that a read if you're interested. Okay, let's go this way. You know what? Just a second. I'm going to find out why my dog is whining. Okay, so we got an elevator here, and as I mentioned, they all use this kind of puzzle, but we're not going to leave this floor yet. Something else on the ground. So it's a report card for Beth. Beth and Nelson. And looks like she did good in trigonometry and physics, Spanish. She did pretty abysmal. Chemistry, she did great in. Literature, not so well. And she flat out failed PE. So it sounds like she's a nerd! But nothing wrong with that. Anyway, again, go ahead and read all of that if you're interested in more backstory. So I think this is a dead end down here. Ah, not quite. There are secret passages around the museum, and this is one of them. But I can't get to it from this side. The music in this area is just unsettling. Looks like there's a purse on the ground here. I'm guessing that's Beth's. So, her address book. Looks like one guy she was dating, she's crossed that out and wrote in Merrick, who's the other boy in the museum. Okay, this is important. We'll need to come back to that. Remember when I said I might look up solutions for two puzzles? This is actually one of them, because you have to create this symbol out of a puzzle, and there's a lot of pieces. Yeah, she's got a thing for Merrick, that's for sure. Alright, let's continue on. Interesting aesthetic choice, using these skulls and hands and that kind of thing on these. I don't even know if these are doors or what they are. Yeah, maybe caps of various underground passages. So, here's the museum power plant. Well, unfortunately, nothing to see down here yet. I'll have to come back. I think... Yeah, we can't get in there. Looks like there might be a secret passage there. Be convenient to get right to the power plant, right? Alright, let's get out of here. There's really nothing to see here. I feel like I'm not doing much in this entry, and if that's the case, I apologize for that, but I really wanted to get to the books in the library, so that in the next entry we can really start exploring the museum proper. But let's get out of here and we'll get back to the library. Okay, so let me check our time real quick. Okay, so I'm about 20 minutes. I don't want to go a whole lot further, but I'll get into the next area and then we'll stop there to leave you wanting more. Like a dick. Okay, so let's... Okay, so let's go ahead and head in here. So we got this kind of ornate looking door here. And now you probably can guess why we needed ancient hieroglyphs explained. We have a puzzle here with some hieroglyphs. So let's go have a look in the book and see what we see.
Care to refresh your memory?
Okay, so basic man, woman hieroglyph, that's not going to help. Cartouches, nah. Oh, there we go. North, south, east, and west. I think we can use that. So, we've got, for north, we got like the squiggly design, and a 2 with lines, 2 without lines. You shut up! A 1 and this sort of half circle thing. South, we got this big cross thing, 2, another 2, and a 1. Let's get those done. This is kind of, unfortunately, something you gotta, like, keep referring back to. Okay, so... Oh, good. We already got the big one in place for south. So... Let's go on here. There we go. Alright. Let's move that over there. I think we had that there. That there. And then... Gotta get this out of here. We already had that in place. That's good. I need to move something to place that elsewhere. Well, for now, I'll just put it right here. And what do we have? Crap, I gotta do some rearranging here. Just a second, let me get it. Okay, that's where I messed up. There we go. Now southeast west, that opens the door, and it leads us to the auditorium. So, looking at the time, yep, we're about 27 minutes, and of course there's going to be some stuff cut out, so that'll be the perfect entry length. So I'm going to stop this one here. Hope this one wasn't too boring. I know not a lot happened, but now we're ready to really explore the museum proper, and I hope you stay tuned for that in part 4. So I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, you stay classy, Internet.